All right, thank you so much for attending this podcast. My name is Siwing Yi from the Yi Real Estate Network, and my special guest here, Mr. Justin Zawodny. Not only he is our network realtor, he helped out-of-state investors to buy rental properties here in the Cape Coral, Southwest Florida market. He is also a property manager. Now, the reason why we talk about property management is because over the years, I've been doing this over 20 years, and I have taken my real estate investors mainly from California, although I have other investors, members from other part of the country. They buy out-of-state turnkey remote investing over the years. But one challenge that we face in the past is that the property management, which is that will make or break someone's real estate career, to be blunt about it. And so a property manager, is your eyes and ears of your portfolio. So if they do a good job, then it'll make your job so much easier as an out-of-state investor. So and not, again, in the past, there has been a lot of issues, a lot of problems, but the property management profession has gotten better over the years because of technology, because of that changing demographics, population, and into market and what have you. But still, it's important. My investors have been telling me many years, Wing, if you can give me a great property manager, I would love to buy properties in that particular area. It'll give me a sense of comfort, a sense that I can sleep at night, knowing my property that I bought 2,000 miles away or being taken care of. If I'm sleeping comfortably in my own home, 2,000 miles away, and my money is grown on trees, and I'm doing this passively, not putting any kind of work. That is the ultimate fantasy and goal. And if that can happen, what if some of my investors have bought, per investor, Justin, have bought 5, 10, 15, 20 properties per person in different markets over years. Many have done well, and more can do even better, knowing that a property manager at that particular location is taking care of everything, not just short-term, but long-term as well. So Justin, I'm asking you this very critical question. You as a property manager, I know you have done well for my investors for the past few years. I want you to tell the audience what makes a good property management. What is this expectation, and what makes a bad property manager? And with you, what kind of systems and process you have in place that will make out-of-state investors feel nice and warm and fuzzy feeling. So give it away.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. G. Property management is a pretty unique role, because you're not just trying to make sure that the investor is happy and making money. We also make sure that the tenant is happy and comfortable and feels like all of their needs are met. You have to be that happy medium in the middle, keeping everybody happy, or else nobody's going to be happy. So it's definitely unique. Our biggest key to the whole thing, like you said, with technology has made it a lot easier, is the software that we use. It makes it very, very easy for both the tenant, myself, and the owner to all see everything that's happening, make sure that all issues are addressed very, very quickly, and have a very clear picture of where the home is at all times. Because like you said, when you live so far from a property, no one wants to deal with calls about maintenance. No one has to try and guess where the rental market is. No one has to try and find a tenant and make sure that they're going to be a good fit from 2,000 miles away. It's just not possible. You can't do it. And that's why my company exists. We saw that Southwest Florida is a great place to invest. We knew people from all over the world would want to do it, but they couldn't unless there was someone here locally who could handle that for them. That's how we came about, being that one-stop shop for every service that they would need here in Southwest Florida for their investment property. So let's start. We'll kind of go through a timeline here of what an owner would expect. I think that's a good way to do this. So step one, we're going to meet with the investor after they speak with you, help them find the property, and they're going to purchase it. As soon as they close, that's when we transition from your standard real estate brokerage into the property management role. Now, the owner at that point should expect to spend about 2 hours of their time, 1 to 2 hours, getting everything set up. These are all one-time setups that they'll do when they purchase the home, and they'll never have to touch again, right? It'll all run for them from there. So some of the stuff that they're going to set up, they're going to have to switch the water and the electric into their name. Now, the city of Cape Coral and the electric company in Cape Coral have made this incredibly easy for an investor. You're going to set the home up one time with an account with both water and electric. You're going to tell the water and electric company that you're a landlord, and they're going to do what's called a landlord cut-in. Now, what that means is you have the main account for both water and electric. But when a tenant comes in and starts service, they move your account to the background. All charges go directly to the tenant. That tenant lives there for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, however long it is, and eventually they're going to stop service. Now, when they stop service, that tenant's account is gone, and your account automatically goes back to the account that's charged for that period of vacancy. And again, new tenant comes on and starts service, you go to the background, and that tenant moves out, they move you back to the one being charged. You never have to set that up again. The only thing you need to do is when that bill comes in the mail or to your email, depending on how you set it up, you go in, you submit a payment, it should take 5 minutes, only if there's vacancy. So very, very easy. One-time setup that'll probably take about an hour for water and electric combined.
Next step is going to be the setting up the Hemlane account. For the owner, that's very, very easy. It takes 5 to 15 minutes. Basic information, and then you attach your bank account to the account. From there, every time a payment is made, it automatically sends your portion of the money to that bank account. The management fees go directly to our bank account. It automatically happens every time. You can also log into Hemlane then moving forward to see any work requests or maintenance requests. You can see updates on any open maintenance as far as what we're doing. We always keep that updated. You can see when rent payments are made, what's upcoming payments that need to be made. And then you can make any payments to us for any work that you've already approved. Very, very simple, one place for everything. And again, it's only about a 5 to 15 minute setup, very quick. The last thing you need to do is sign the various agreements. It's all e-signatures. You can do it right from your smartphone. Probably takes 10 minutes total to sign the leasing agreement, the management agreement, and then the lease. Once those 4 steps are done, the property goes onto the back burner. It's on autopilot. You should spend no more than 20 minutes a month. You have to go on and make your mortgage payment for the property. That's about it. You might get a phone call from me if there's some type of maintenance request, or have to respond to an email if you're authorizing some type of work to be done. But outside of that, we're handling everything else for you. So the biggest problem, the tenants, they have so many work requests. I don't want to have to deal with that. That's why I don't invest in real estate. Well, with our process, you don't deal with it at all. The tenant, they never have your phone number. They never have your email address. Anything goes wrong with the property, they're calling me. Once I get a call, let's say, let's say they have a sink, it's not draining properly, right? Okay, well, I get the call, we have a problem. We get out to the home, we look at the problem. We're going to call in at least 3 plumbers to get quotes on what it takes to correct that problem. Once we have those quotes, we send an email to you and we'll give you a quick phone call, run through the different options. You're going to respond back to the email saying, I authorize the charges to go with option number 2 and get this repaired. We handle all of the scheduling between the tenant and the contractor who's coming in. We go out to make sure the work is done properly. We'll send you pictures to show that it's all been corrected. And from there, all you need to do is go onto the contractor's website and submit a payment or make a payment over the phone. So in the grand scheme of things, you probably spent 5 minutes looking over the options and approving which fix we're taking, and 5 minutes making the payment at the end. Everything else was handled for you by us. So we make it very, very easy for the owners once they do own these properties.
Yeah. So in other words, I use a three-letter TNT, the dynamite TNT.
Mhm.
The way I describe TNT in relationship to what you're doing is tenants and toilets, tenants and toilets. So you're doing it.
We're doing it. And the only thing the investors deal with is dollar signs. Make your money, pay your mortgage, pay for a repair. That's it. That's all we ask of our owners.
Yeah, since our investors are buying brand new homes from you, single family homes and duplexes, and a lot more to come. So over the years, on an annual to annual basis, if there are any tenant leaving, of course, you do all the work. You will clean out the property to prepare for the other tenant. You do all the legwork, and then years later, although I'll tell my investors to buy and hold for a very long time, but some people they still want to sell their rental property at some point in time in the future. If they were to do that, because you're a licensed Florida realtor, you can help them sell their property and even at a cheaper cost, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because we've been involved in so many steps, we do pass along discounts to the owners, right? Some examples of this would be, when the purchase is made, there is a brokerage fee that needs to be paid. That's a $395 fee. But because the brokerage fee was paid, and then we transitioned directly into that property management role, we don't need to charge a leasing fee for the first tenant. That comes free of charge. That's depending on how much your rent is. Normal leasing fee is 50% of 1 month's rent. $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 discount that we're passing along to you because we were involved in the purchase. Then now we move from the property management role to the listing agent role. Well, same thing. Let's say we manage your home for you for 10 years, right? We're helping you in collecting management fees throughout. We can sell the home oftentimes for as much as, 33% discount compared to what another broker would do for you. I mean, that's significant. When you're talking about the commissions, saving 33% of real estate commissions, we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars sometimes being kept with the owner of the home simply because we were involved in so many steps. And that's, it's very valuable. It does create a lot more money and a much higher return for these properties because of the discounts that we can pass along.
Yeah, so Justin, we've been working together for several years now. So virtually every one of our investors that I sent to you, they have purchased a property from you. They have some great things to say about you. So just so you know, you have done a great job. You are one of the top property managers that I work with, and I have other markets that I'm promoting as well. So my takeaway is, in fact, because some of my investors are so happy, capital resources available, they are buying their second and third and even fourth property from you per investor. Mm-hmm. Right? And because they have a good experience, they like your property management, they like your client service, your hands-on approach and your communication skills. You follow up very quickly by text, by email, by phone calls, whatever. So you're very, transparent. Whatever you're doing, you have a good system, you have good process, good procedures, you provide great service. So that's why people coming back, and you get a lot of referrals from my investors as well. Mm-hmm. What can you ask for, right?
Yeah, it's been really good. And that's, again, we go back to that property management role and how unique it is, right? We have two very different types of clients we're working with, dealing with the owners and the tenants. And the biggest compliment that I can get from either one is referrals. And it happens very regularly where investors will refer other investors, or investors will come back for a second, third, fourth property. That's signs that we're doing things right? I've never gone somewhere my first time, had a bad experience, and gone back for a second time anyway. That doesn't happen. So if we have people coming back for 2, 3, 4 purchases, it means we're doing things right. On the other side, from the tenant side, it happens all the time where I get a phone call. Oh, hi, my name is so-and-so, and your tenant over at 123 Main Street, they referred me over to you. They said that you might have a vacancy. Perfect. We have a great tenant coming from a referral from an already great tenant.
Yep.
We have vacancies coming up. Let's get some applications in and let's start getting some leases signed. And again, it just shows us that we are doing things right for everybody, and that's very important to us.
Very good, very good. He'll give me some more takeaway from me as we conclude this podcast. My takeaway is whether an investor from out of state or anywhere, whether they buy one property from you, whether they buy 10 property from you per investor, moving forward into the future, the expectation is on a monthly basis, the most time an investor will have to spend to putting the effort on your portfolio, like 1 hour per month.
If they own like 7 properties, yeah, about 1 hour per total. I mean, an investor has 1 property with us. I would like to hope it's no more than 10 minutes. We want to keep it pretty effortless.
This is really too good to be true, and it is true. I mean, a lot of investors on historical basis, they think they have to find their own properties, manage their own properties, and spend hours, become a full-time investor for 1 or 2 properties. And yet, for me to hear you say that an investor own 5 or 10 properties or even more, I mean, it's like passive. It's almost like owning a mutual fund. You just like an autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing, because if investors can do that, imagine how good their life is going to be, knowing, like I said earlier, they could sleep at night comfortably, knowing that money grows on trees, knowing that real estate portfolio of 5, 10, 15, 20 properties is being taken care of, and they can do it less than part-time. I mean, part-time managing their vast real estate portfolio because of that unique business model that you have as a property manager. I mean, this is amazing, right? I mean, but it's true, and I thank you for your time. And by the way, you're very young, Justin. That tells me that you have a long property management and business horizon. You're going to take our not only you can take care of our investors, but eventually their children going to inherit your property 30, 40, 50 years later. And hopefully you're around. I'm sure you are. You're so young. You're just as young as my adult children, just so you know. So thank you so much, Justin. You're very grounded. I don't know how you have this kind of value system. Don't tell me. Just continue to do what you're doing, because that's I feel very good about working with you, short term and long term. Thank you so much, Justin. Any final word you have before we conclude this podcast?
That's thank you very much, Mr. Yi, for having me on the webinar today. And I mean, the best thing I always say at the end, if anyone has heard anything that has them remotely interested, get in touch with Mr. Yi. He'll run through some basic questions with you, make sure you're ready to invest, and get you in touch with me to start looking at some properties and start the process for you, and start making some money.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Justin. Well said. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you for participating, everyone out there. Thank you for listening. This is Siwing Yi and my special guest, Justin Zawodny from Southwest Florida, Cape Coral, real estate agent, out-of-state investment agent, and property manager. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, everyone. See you on the other side. Bye-bye.